Oh, yeah. I actually remember when my parents would take me to the movies earlier on, or like my stepdad would take me to the movies by himself with me, and we'd go in there, and I'd like think, oh, you mean the adults could just sit here, and just man, when I grow up and I go, I'm going to watch the movie 5 times. Especially if it was like something that was really, really cool, like it's a mad, 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 mad world.
Oh, yeah, that was
man,
a great movie.
I want to see that 3 times while I'm here.
Yeah. Have you seen every movie?
I've seen a lot of them.
Like, here's maybe a weird question. What's a movie you've never seen that people would be surprised that you've never seen?
Oh gosh, that's a good question.
I mean, you go obscure, obviously, but maybe something that people would be like, Quentin hasn't seen Star Wars or something like that.
Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Leonard Part 6. All right.
Okay. I didn't see the last of the Lord of the Ring movies.
Oh, no kidding.
Return of the King, but there's actually a really good reason. A friend of mine from when I was doing Kill Bill. A friend of mine I met in China. She came out to America, and we saw the Two Towers movie together. And she'd read all the books like a couple of times. So when I watched the Two Towers, I enjoyed it so much more than I did the first one, because she was always kind of whispering in my ear and like, well, and this thing and the tree people and da 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 da. And so when the Return of the King came, I was like, I kind of want to see it with her. I don't want to see it.
Right.
And it's actually, I hadn't seen her in a couple of years, and I saw her like last week. I go, I've been holding off seeing Return of the King to see it with you. She goes, okay, but we got to see the extended version. I go, okay, I'm down. But that's the one that I hadn't seen.
Yeah, that would be I would figure you would have seen that one.
I like the fact that you will credit people who you feel you've been influenced by. Like, you turned me on to John Woo.
Oh, yeah.
And the shiny stuff he did, which was like The Killer. And
Better Tomorrow, Better Tomorrow 2.
What was the one where he slid down the banister, doing the Chow Yun Fat to slide down the banister?
Oh, yeah, that's that's Better Tomorrow 2, I think, yeah.
No, it's Hard Boiled. Yeah.
In stereo we did Hard Boiled.
Yeah, it was kind of cute. Promo. I would definitely, he credits people with that. And all those double gunshots and the guys pointing at each other. It was just really great stuff.
Hard Boiled has that one moment where Chow Yun Fat gets covered with flour, and then he just puts the gun right at the guy's face, and bam, he shoots him off screen, and then blood just splashes his white face.
Hey, what about movie night? Can you talk about that a little bit? I've been reading about you for the last couple of weeks, and movie night at your house is supposedly just unbelievable.
Oh, it's pretty cool. It's pretty much
and will you invite us? Next time we're in LA.
Hey, you guys were in LA, but I'd be happy to. That would be cool.
All right, I think we'd lose our minds if we were invited to that.
He has no idea that we mean it, and all of a sudden him and his friends will be there, and it's our stupid, pathetic face at the door.
We'll have a 6-pack of beer.
Hey, you sound
we're here.
You sound like the perfect patron.
Well, what is movie night all about? Because that's where the Grindhouse thing kind of
it really was actually
came from. Somewhere
like around like 96 or so, I started collecting film prints. It was. In fact, it was funny. It's like just shows my movie junkiness. All right, like if you throw the trajectory, videotapes. Okay, that's pot. All right. Laserdisc and DVDs, okay, whoa, that's cocaine. But when you start collecting prints, that's heroin. Stuff's going right in your veins. So I started collecting prints, and I collect prints, all kinds of different prints. But also I do have a fondness for exploitation movies and grindhouse films, so I've been collecting those. And then I'll invite people over. I am like a frustrated theater manager. The way other people invite people over and make them dinner. No, I invite you over and show you a movie. Try to give you a good night that way. And so what I'll do is I'll come up with a double feature. Usually they're 2 movies that they go well together. They can be like-minded or not, or in the same genre or not. And but there's something that makes them work together, like a good evening. And then I have a whole bunch of trailers. So I handpick the trailers. I take them the order,
so cool.
The order that they're going to go in. Now usually they have some link with the double feature as far as genre is concerned. Like if I'm showing 2 women in prison movies, I might be women in prison trailers there, or like they might have something to do with like the different actors in the different movies, or maybe even somebody in the audience. Okay, if you guys did a movie and I had a trailer for it, I'd stick that in there if you guys were over. And so And so that's this kind of whole little perfect little screening thing. And so Robert, I've been doing that for Robert for like 10 years now. Not only that, I've been going to Austin for about 10 years, and I do a little film festival. All right, it's like we're on the 7th one now. And literally, we're like, I bring 30 films, and they're all double features, and show them and pick all the trailers. And so when we came up with the idea of Grindhouse, Robert goes, this is going to be a night at your house, Quentin, but except we're doing it on a massive level, so we could like show you 3,000 people in one weekend, or 3,000 theaters in one weekend.
Here's a question I have for you too. What about Natural Born Killers did you not like that Oliver Stone did with it? Because you wrote that, right?
Yeah. Well, basically, that he rewrote my script. That's first, foremost, and kind of you can stop right there.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah,
it's a pretty big problem.
I mean, my whole thing about it is, like, I know people, screenwriters in Hollywood, they rewrite them all the time, and that happens all the time. Not to me. So the minute it happened, I was like, you know what? I ain't going to play this game. He didn't have a right to do it. I would rather he stole it.
Right.
I'd rather he had stole what he won from it just so my name wouldn't be associated with it.
Was there a part of it that you hated that he did like the most?
Yeah, well, okay, there's one part. Okay, I've never sat down and watched the movie from beginning to end. All right, I went to the theaters once to see it, and then the scene that I'm going to say was so bad that I had to leave. Since then, I've like seen little bits of it on cable or something. But it was that horrible sitcom, I Love Mallory, with Rodney Dangerfield. And the way it was is like, I created these characters, and it kept a lot of my stuff. Basically, the funny stuff that's still in the movie is my stuff. But the thing is, I had top position on screenplay, and I would have got lots of money because that's where you get all the big royalties and all that stuff. For fear anybody would think I wrote that crap, I said, take my name off the screenplay. All right, I'll get story by because I came up with the names of Mickey and Mallory. I gave up money for integrity because I just didn't want anyone to think I wrote that.
You didn't see. I like that scene. You didn't like that scene.
I hated that scene. But here's the deal about that, though. All right, it's not that like if you don't like that, if you like that movie, you're an idiot. Like a lot of people like that movie. I'll tell you one time that I started feeling better about it because I didn't like it for a long time. Me and Oliver have made up though. I walked to an elevator. Elevator opens up. Johnny Cash is in the elevator. I'm like, oh my God, Johnny Cash. So I walk in and go, oh, hey, you're Quentin Tarantino, aren't you? I go, yes, I am. Well, me and June, we really like your movies a lot. Oh, wow, that's really great. Well, I've been a fan of yours forever. We really like that Natural Born Killers.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So you
actually,
took the compliment that day.
That went a long way, I got to say. Right? That went a long way to, healing wounds.
Why don't you just remake the movie in your vision?
You know what? It's really funny. I actually thought about that about 3 years ago because I actually published my screen. Oliver Stone was actually kind of nice about even the fact we were fighting. He allowed me to, because he kind of had control over it. He allowed me to actually publish my original screenplay, so it's out there. You can get my original screenplay, and it is very, very different. I thought about that about 3 years ago, and I might still do that one of these days, but kind of moving forward.
Yeah,
I would really have to run out of ideas for a while.
Who would you have cast, though? Or did you think that the casting was done well? Woody Harrelson and Juliette Lewis? Would you have cast?
No, I didn't like the casting of Woody Harrelson at all, actually, at the time. All right. Actually, since then, we've even been feuding about it. I'm not feuding, but he doesn't like me, and I don't, because he knows I don't like him. But actually, since then, he's actually been pretty good in some movies. I thought in Ed TV, he was really funny. But other than that, though, I wouldn't cast him in that at all. But Juliette Lewis, I thought, was terrific. Yeah. She actually is the closest to just her performance. Her vibe was the closest to any vibe that I had in my script was in her performance.
I thought that captured Rodney. One thing I liked about the sitcom scene, I thought it captured the real Rodney Dangerfield. Maybe a little bit of an exaggeration. We always see him being fun and stuff and easy money, but then that creepy lecherous. I'm like, I bet you that's more what he was like. I thought you...
Well, that's one thing about it, actually, that I do. As much as I hate that scene, that probably is closer to the real Rodney.
Like, I saw you in From Dusk Till Dawn, and I'm like, I'll bet you that is closer to Tarantino than any other movie. Is that psychopath character?
Well, I can go there.
You know what? A lot of people also talk about how you do take some actors out of obscurity and put them in there. And one that I think is, I'm amazed we hadn't seen more of this guy until you put him in movies. We remember him as Then Came Bronson.
Michael Parks, man.
Michael Parks does such a good job in Kill Bill. It's amazing, and playing two characters.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know he was the guy at
the
first.
pimp.
The pimp. He does a great accent in that, and just his acting is really good.